Okay guys, what I'm going to try here is something different. This is the final Elite 8 game in the May Madness tournament, PC bracket version, the 2002 Oakland A's against the 1979 Baltimore Orioles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to play this with cards and dice and just use the card imaging that shows up for each of the players as I play. So what I'll do is I'll pan down here to the score sheet where I actually rolled the dice, and then come up here and read the result and play it as if I actually have the cards in my hand. Hopefully that's a little more entertaining than just the computer version, doing everything manually. We'll see how it goes. Right now, we'll dispense with the lineups and just go right to the game. Mike Flanagan is the starter for the Orioles. Mark Ellis is in at second base. There you see Ellis's card against left-handed pitching, and you see Flanagan's card against right-handed hitting. So we're going to go ahead and get started here and see what we can do. First pitch, I'm not going to need this mouse, get this out of the way. First pitch of the game, and it'll be to Ellis, and here's the delivery. It's a 5-9. All right, so if we go over here to Flanagan, a 5 and a 9 says ground ball second base. So it's a 4-3 ground out, and Ellis is out number 1. So actually I'm going to have to probably do something with this. Let's do a manual entry just so I can get to the next screen. So I'm going to have to do a manual entry on the manual entry screen. Just call it a ground out. And that will get this over to the next at bat, which is Scott Hatteberg. So we'll roll for Hatteberg. It is a 5-3. So 5-3. We go to Flanagan. 5-3 is a ground ball to first base, C. So it's another ground out. So we'll put that in as a ground out for out number 2. And that is a ground ball out to first base. 2 down. All right, here is Miguel Tejada. Miguel Tejada. It's a 1-7. So against Flanagan, a 1-7 is a double or a single. Double or a single. So I'm not sure with the computer bracket here how that's read, whether it's 1 to 14 is a double, 1 to 4 is a double, and anything else is a single. I think that's how that's read. It's got D equals 4, S equals everything else. So I'm guessing that means 1 to 4 is a double. Anything else is a single. That's how I'm going to play it. It's a 10, so we're calling it a single for Miguel Tejada. So that's a single for Miguel Tejada. So we'll put him down for a single. Single for Miguel Tejada. So he's on first base with 1 out. With 2 outs for David Justice. And Justice rolls a 6-7. So Justice, a 6-7 against Flanagan. A 6 and a 7 is a strikeout. Column 6, row 7 is a strikeout. So the inning is over as Flanagan puts the K on Justice. And after half an inning, it is Oakland nothing and Baltimore coming to bat. So we're going to have to enter that strikeout to get to the bottom of the first. So we'll go up to where the strikeout is, wherever that is. It's on here somewhere. There it is right there. Okay, so he is struck out. And now we're over here to Al Bumry. He will lead things off against the right-hander Tim Hudson. So Bumry, and there you see Bumry's numbers against right-handed pitching and Hudson's numbers against left-handed batting. So we're going to go ahead and get going here with Al Bumry. And we got a 1-9. 1-9, so we're under Bumry. 1-9 is a ground ball second base A. So it's a 4-3 ground out for out number 1. And guys, I have no idea how this is coming over on the video. Like I said, I'm just trying something different because when I did just a straight computer game, some people thought that was a little bit boring. We will see. It was certainly faster, that's for sure. But at least this way I'm rolling the dice manually. All right, here's Billy Smith, second baseman. It's a 4-4. So Hudson 4-4 is a line out. Doesn't say who the line out is to, it just says a line out. So we'll call it a line out to second. Just because. So it's a line out for Billy Smith. He lines out for out number 2. And that now brings up Ken Singleton, the right fielder and number 3 place hitter. And that is a 6-8. 6-8 is going to be a single 1-4 or a ground out otherwise. Let me bring that back up here. Looks like to me it's a single star 4 and then ground ball B. So it looks to me like that's a single 1-4 and otherwise not. Now the one way to determine that for sure is to go into dice mode and do dice mode. And let's do that and see if we can get that going here. Dice mode. Okay, so we're going to roll, or let the computer roll, the 6-8 version that I just had, and we'll see if I'm right in my assessment. It's giving me a D20 roll, so I got to roll the D20. So let's roll the D20. The roll is a 6. So we're going to put in a 6 here in the D20 roll and see what it tells me. It's a ground out to the first baseman, so I thought that's what it was. I thought that's what it was when I first looked at it, was that ground ball to the first baseman. So the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down for the Orioles, and we're scoreless after 1. And now that brings up Jermaine Dye. Jermaine Dye to lead off the second. It's a 4-7, so we're under Flanagan. 4-7 is a strikeout. So it's a strikeout for Jermaine Dye. 1 away. And let's go ahead and put that in. 4-7. Let that calculate. All right, 4-7 is a strikeout. So next batter is Eric Chavez. Chavez a 1-7. So we're going to put in a 1 and a 7. And the 1-7 says another strikeout. So it's back-to-back strikeouts. And now that brings up Olmedo Signs. That is a 6-11. A 6-11 for Signs off of Flanagan. And that's a ground ball pitcher X. Ground ball pitcher X. And Flanagan makes the play. So inning is over. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score for Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray leads things off. The roll is a 5-7. 5-7 for Eddie Murray. So we have a 5 and a 7. And that is going to be a split chance. 1-3 is a triple. Anything else is a single. The D20 chance is a 13, so that means we're looking at a single. So that's a single for Eddie Murray. So a leadoff single for Eddie Murray. And that brings up Lee May. Lee May, a 6-10. All right, a 6 and a 10. Let's see what happens with that. That is a fly ball to center field X. So we'll see if Ellis can field it. He couldn't get to it. Murray takes third, so it's a single. It's a single, and Murray will go to third base. So runners are at the corners with nobody out for John Lowenstein. Lowenstein, a 3-7. So a 3 and a 7 for Lowenstein. And he has a split chance. Looks like a single 1-3 or else a line out. D20 calls it an 8, so we're going to make this an 8. And he lines out to the second baseman, Mark Ellis, for out number 1. That brings up Doug DeCense. Runners still at the corners. A's could get out of this with a double play. It's a 3-6. 3-6, so we're under DeCense. A 3 and a 6. And that's going to be a strikeout. So DeCense with the whiff. And Hudson tries to pitch out of this. It's Rick Dempsey. Last chance for the Orioles. It's a 2-8. 2-8. 2-8. A 2 and an 8. And we'll see what happens. A 2-8 is a pop out to the third baseman Chavez to end the inning. And how you like that? Tim Hudson pitches out of a first and third jam with nobody out. And after 2 innings, we're still scoreless. And now we've got catcher Ramon Hernandez coming to the plate. He rolls a 2-7. So we come over here to 2 and a 7. Might have to get my mouse back because doing this by hand is a little tricky. 2-7 is a fly ball to center field for out number 1 as Bumry makes the play. And now that will bring up number 9 hitter Terrence Long. That is a 2-10. So a 2 and a 10 for Terrence Long. 2-10 is a split chance. Looks like a 1 is a double. Anything else will be a single. It's 17, so I'm guessing that's going to be a single. And that's exactly what they credit him with, is a single. So that is a 1-out single for Terrence Long. And that brings up Mark Ellis. That is a 2 and a 3. A 2-3. 2 and a 3 for Ellis. 2-3 is a ground ball first base C. So Murray takes it to the bag himself. 3 unassisted for out number 2. Long will move up to second base. So he's in scoring position with 2 outs for Scott Hatteberg. Hatteberg's a 5-7. So Hatteberg a 5 and a 7, and we'll see what happens on the 5-7. That's a strikeout, so Flanagan with the K. And we go to the bottom of the third, still no score. And we're looking at Kiko Garcia, the number 9 hitter for the Orioles, coming up. Kiko, 2-6. 2-6 for Kiko. So let's see how that plays out. A 2 and a 6 for Kiko. That's a ground ball to short. So Kiko is out 6-3. 1 away, and we're back to the top of the order, and Al Bumry. Bumry a 1-8. So a 1-8 for Bumry is a fly ball to center field. So he flies out to his counterpart, Terrence Long, in center for out number 2. And that brings up Billy Smith. Billy Smith, a 2-3. A 2 and a 3 for Billy Smith. And that is a pop out to the first baseman, Hatteberg, to end the inning. So after 3 complete, we are still scoreless. And now Miguel Tejada steps to the plate. Tejada singled his first time up. This is a 2-4, all 2s, 2-4. So 2-4 for Tejada. It's going to be a line out. So it's a line out to the third baseman for out number 1. And that'll bring up David Justice. David Justice, a 2-5. 2-5 for Justice. 2-5 is a single. It's a single for Justice, a 1-out single. So he's on first base for Jermaine Dye. And that's a 2-6. So 2-6 for Jermaine Dye. 2-6 is a strikeout. So Flanagan, for the second time, has struck out Jermaine Dye. That'll bring up Eric Chavez. It's a 2-11. I'm rolling a lot of white 2s for some reason. 2-11 this time. That is a fly out to the right fielder. So Singleton puts it away, and the inning is over. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless, and Ken Singleton will be leading things off. Singleton, a 3-7. 3-7 for Singleton. And the 3-7 says it's a walk. So it's a leadoff walk for Ken Singleton. And that'll bring up Eddie Murray. Singled his first time up. It's a 3-9. So it's a 3-9 for Eddie Murray. And we'll see what a 3-9 brings about. That is a fly ball to the right fielder, Jermaine Dye, for out number 1. And now we've got the designated hitter, Lee May. And that's another 2. 2-5. 2-5. 2-5 for Lee May. And 2-5 is a ground ball to third. Double play. 5-4-3 around the horn. And the inning is over. So we play 4 complete, and we're still scoreless. And we're up to Olmedo Signs leading off for Oakland in the top of the 5th. 1-9. So we got a 1 and a 9 for Olmedo Signs. And he gets a fly ball out to left fielder that John Lowenstein fields, 1 away. And that brings up the catcher, Roberto Hernandez. That is a 6-6. So a 6-6 for Roberto Hernandez. And that's going to be a split chance. 1 to 10 is a single. Anything else is going to be a line out. So he needs a 1 through 10 to get his base hit. He got an 18, so he didn't get it. 18, it's a line out to the second baseman, Billy Smith. We're out number 2. And we're down to the number 9 hitter, Terrence Long. It's a 4-3. Lefty on lefty matchup, a 4 and a 3. And that's going to be a fly ball to left fielder Lowenstein. And see if he can make the play. He does. So Lowenstein brings it in to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still no score. And Lowenstein, who just made that catch, will lead off the bottom of the 5th. Lowenstein, a 112. 112 for Lowenstein. 112 is a double to left field for Lowenstein. He leads off with a double. And the Orioles might have something cooking here in the 5th. Here's Doug DeSensei. DeSensei, a 3-6. 3-6 for DeSensei. And a 3-6 is a strikeout. So Hudson says not so fast. 1 away. That'll bring up Rick Dempsey. Dempsey now a 4-10. 4-10 for Dempsey. Oh, before we did that, let's go back here. It gave me a wild pitch, which I didn't want to have on there. So I can undo that play. And now I can put in my 4-10 the way I needed to. 4-10. And a 4-10 is a ground ball to shortstop X. We're going to hold the runner. They're not going to try to move anywhere. And so it's a ground out 6-3 with Lowenstein holding at second base. And that brings up Kiko Garcia, little Kiko Garcia, shortstop. And we've got a 1-8 for Garcia. A 1-8 for Garcia is a walk. So it's another walk issued by Hudson, his second of the game. And that brings up the top of the order, and Al Bumry was 2 on and 2 out. Bumry, a 3-8. 3-8. 3 and an 8. And that's a ground ball to first to end the inning. So he grounds it to Hatterberg, and the inning is over. We go to the 6th, still scoreless. And that'll bring up Mark Ellis, the top of the order. And it's a 6-11. So go up here to 6-11. A 6 and an 11. See what 6-11 has to offer. It's a ground ball back to the pitcher Flanagan. And he makes the play. 1 away. So Ellis is retired for the first out of the inning. And that brings up Hatterberg. He is grounded to first and struck out. It's a 6-7 for Hatterberg. So Hatterberg, a 6 and a 7. See what he does there. He struck out. So Hatterberg down on strikes. Flanagan still rolling along. And here's Miguel Tejada. Tejada, Miggy, 1-6. 1-6 against the left-hander Flanagan. 1-6 is a fly ball to left to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, still scoreless, and Billy Smith, second baseman, leads off. It is a 6-7. 6-7 against Hudson. 6 and a 7. That is a single to right field, so it's a base hit for Billy Smith. He will start off the inning with a single. And now we've got Ken Singleton up. Chance to advance Billy Smith. It's a 5-8. A 5 and an 8. 5 and an 8. 5-8's a ground ball, second base X. And it's a 4-6-3 double play. So it's a 4-6-6-3 double play for a quick 2 outs. And that brings up Eddie Murray. 2 outs, base is empty. It's a 2-8. 2-8 for Murray. A 2-8 for Murray. 2-8 is a base hit. So Murray with a 2-out single, his second hit of the game. And that brings up Lee May. 1-7. A 1-7 for Lee May is a home run. So Lee May with a 1-7 hits a home run home run, a 2-run shot, and the Orioles now lead it 2-0. So Lee May with a 2-run home run as the Orioles finally break through on the scoreboard with 2 outs. And it's a good thing the A's turned the double play, or it could have been worse. Here's John Lowenstein, 2 outs, bases empty. It's a 4-2 for Lowenstein, a 4 and a 2, and that's going to be a walk. So another walk for Hudson, and he may be getting rattled here a little bit. Here's DeSensei. I think that Lee May home run shook him up a little bit. It's a 2-7 for DeSensei, a 2 and a 7, and that's going to be a split chance. 1-8 is going to be a single. Anything else is going to be a line out, so he needs a 1-8. He got a 19, so he didn't get it. So it's a 1-8. And he lines out to Tejada at short to end the inning. But the Orioles pick up 2, and at the end of 6, it's Baltimore 2 and Oakland nothing. Okay, top of the 7th, and David Justice will be leading things off against Flanagan, who's been staked to a 2-0 lead. 5-7. 5-7 for Justice is a strikeout. So Flanagan continues to roll here with the strikeout. And here's Jermaine Dye. He has struck out twice. Both times he's been to the plate, he's struck out. 3-8. 3-8 for Jermaine Dye. And it's a fly ball to center fielder Bumry. So at least he didn't strike out this time. 2 down for Eric Chavez. Or Chavez, I think it's Chavez. 2-5. 2-5 for Chavez. 2-5 is a walk. So a 2-out walk to Chavez. That brings the tying run to the plate in Olmedo Signs, who does well against left-handed pitching. 3-5. So it's a 3-5 for Olmedo Signs. 3 and a 5. And a 3-5 is a strikeout. He did not do well this time. He struck out. And the inning's over. Nothing doing for the A's there. 7th inning stretch time. Still 2-0 in favor of the Orioles. And Rick Dempsey will lead things off, followed by Kiko Garcia and Al Bumry against Tim Hudson. Here's the first pitch. It's a 6-4. So a 6-4 to Rick Dempsey is a strikeout. So he struck him out. 1 away. And now that brings up the number 9 hitter, Kiko Garcia. Garcia, a 5-2. A 5 and a 2 for Garcia. And he walks. So Kiko Garcia draws his second walk, and it's yet another walk issued by Tim Hudson. And now that'll bring up Al Bumry. Bumry, a 2-6. 2-6 for Bumry. A 2 and a 6. And that's a base hit single, and Garcia will take third. So it's a base hit for Bumry. Garcia goes to third. Runners are at the corners, and we could be looking at a pitching change coming up very shortly. It looks like, let's see here how they want to do this. They're going to face Billy Smith. He's going to come up, and they're going to keep Hudson in there. They're trying for the double play. It's a 3-2. 3-2 for Billy Smith. And a 3-2 is a line-out maximum double play. So it's a line-out max, which means it's a double play. He lines out, and the throw to third to get Bumry to get Garcia. It says throws to third, but logically it seems like he would throw to first. But either way, it's a line-out double play to second for 1, and then 4-3 double play for the other. And we go to the 8th, still 2-0 in favor of the Orioles. Okay, top of the 8th, we're going to have a change here. Kiko Garcia is a 3-rated shortstop, but they're going to go for better defense by bringing in Mark Belanger. So Earl Weaver is going to go up here and get Mark Belanger and put him in at the shortstop position. And now Mark Belanger is a 1-rated shortstop, so it improves their defense there, obviously. And now we're starting off with Ramon Hernandez, the catcher. he will go ahead and bat here against Mike Flanagan. Here is the pitch. It's a 2-6. 2-6 for Hernandez against Flanagan. A 2-6 is a ground ball to short. So it's a ground ball right to Belanger. You put a new defensive player in there, and the ball just finds him. So 1 away. And Terrence Long is coming up, but we can see a pinch hitter here for Terrence Long. So we look at the roster here for the A's. They're going to bring in, I believe they're going to bring in Eric Burns here. Looks like Eric Burns. Eric Burns is going to get the call to pinch hit for Long. So Eric Burns, a right-hander, is going to pinch hit for Long. See what he can do, as Long was 1 for 2 in the game. It's a 1-3, so a 1-3. A 1-3. It's a ground ball to second, so there's 2 away. So that move by Art Howe did not work out. Here's Mark Ellis. It's a 2-5, but honestly, nobody's doing anything against Flanagan. It's a 2-5 for Ellis, and he flies out to center field to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, still 2-0. And now the computer is telling me that I have to put in a new center fielder, obviously, since I pinch hit for Long. So Burns will be the new center fielder, as he's the one who pinch hit for him. And now we're wondering whether they're going to have a new pitcher in for the A's or not. Down 2-0. I think they will. They're going to go ahead and replace Hudson with Billy Koch. So Billy Koch is coming in to replace Hudson. So Billy Koch is in. He is their closer, but they're down 2-0, and they want to keep the score right where it is. And you got the heart of the order: Singleton, Murray, and Lee May to deal with. So, all right, here's the first pitch to Singleton from Billy Koch. It's a 3-8. 3-8 for Singleton. And a 3-8 is a strikeout. So Koch picks up the strikeout. 1 away for Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray. It's a 5-4. 5-4 for Eddie Murray. So we'll go up here and do the 5 and the 4. 5-4 is a catcher X. Ramon Hernandez makes the play. It was a dribble out in front of him, and the computer says, when they did the calculations, said he made the play. So that'll be 2 outs, and Lee May, designated hitter, and he rolls a 1-8. So Lee May with a 1 and an 8. And he has a chance for a home run. 1-3 for a homer. Anything else will be a fly out. So if he gets a 1, 2, or 3, the Orioles will add to the lead. He got an 8, so he didn't get it. He flies out. So with that 8, he flies out to left fielder David Justice to end the inning. So we go to the top of the 9th. Score still 2-0. Now the question is, I don't see how you can take Flanagan out. He's still rolling. He's not reached his fatigue rating as of yet. In fact, let's look at his card. He's an 8 and a point of weakness, but he hasn't really given up anything. So he hasn't given up anything. He's given up nothing more than a walk in the last 4 innings. He's only given up a walk, and that's been it. So he certainly can still bring it. And now you've got the numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up here in the 9th. Hatterberg, Tejada, and Justice. So do they pinch hit for any of these guys? Let's see who's on the bench. And they don't really have a whole lot. Mabry's hits 276. He's not as good as Hatterberg. Hatterberg's a 280 hitter. So I'm going to stick with Hatterberg, lefty, even though it's lefty on lefty. And here's the pitch. It's a 1-8. It's a 1-8 for Hatterberg. And a 1-8 is a ground ball to second. So he grounds out to Billy Smith for out number 1. And that'll bring up Miguel Tejada. The Orioles 2 outs away from reaching the Final Four and having all Oriole teams advance. 3 out of 4 in the Final Four. 3-9. A 3-9. a 3, and a 9. 3-9 is a ground ball to shortstop. Mark Belanger for out number 2. So, one more out and the ball game will be over. It's up to David Justice to keep it going. It's a 4-7. 4-7. So a 4 and a 7. And that's going to be a strikeout to end the ball game. The ball game is over. The Orioles will advance on a brilliant pitching performance by Mike Flanagan and a 2-run homer by Lee May. So they almost pulled off the Earl Weaver hat trick or trademark of good pitching and a 3-run homer. They got good pitching and a 2-run homer. Could have been a 3-run homer without the double play that Singleton hit into, but anyway, that's the way it goes. 2-0. We'll come right back with the totals. Okay, we're back with the totals. Final line score, the Orioles 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left 6 on base. And for Oakland, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. They left 4 on base. Winning pitcher was Mike Flanagan. He pitched a complete game shutout, 3-hitter. Walked 1, struck out 9. And tough luck loser was Tim Hudson. He went 7 innings, gave up 7 hits and the 2 runs, primarily the 2-run homer by Lee May. Did walk 4 and struck out 3. Billy Koch pitched a scoreless 8th with 1 strikeout. So, Mike Flanagan has pitched the Orioles of 1979 into the Final Four, and we can now fill out the Final Four bracket. There are 4 teams remaining, and 3 of them are Orioles. So the 83 Orioles will be taking on the 69 Orioles, and the 41 Yankees will be taking on the 79 Orioles. So 3 Orioles and 1 Yankee team are left. We could have a Baltimore versus Baltimore final. It would be really interesting if it was the 83 Orioles and the 79 Orioles, because that would have a lot of the same players on it. But anything can happen as we go into the Final Four. And I hope everybody has enjoyed this. I don't know how this is going to come across on video. It may seem a little chaotic, or I was trying to roll the dice and check the computer screen. But when I did the Oakland-Boston game strictly on the PC, a couple people commented that they really liked the cards and dice better and didn't really care that much for the PC. So I'm hoping that this came across better, since I manually rolled the dice myself and just let the computer figure out a lot of the results. I did roll the D20, of course, manually as well, but the computer did some of the other things like runner advancement and so forth. So that's going to do it from here, and we'll be ready to get the Final Four going here very shortly, because I would like to get the final game played on Memorial Day. And right now, today is Thursday, the 26th. As I'm recording this, I'll probably post this on Friday. And then on Saturday, I plan on playing both games on Saturday. And then that sets up the finals, which I would play on Memorial Day. So it's been a long tournament. It's been a fun tournament. A lot of games played, obviously. And now we're whittled it down to the Final Four. And there's 3 games remain to be played. So 2 of them are going to be on Saturday to get to the finals. And then after I play those games on Saturday, I will post 1 on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. And then that way on Monday, I will play and post I'm going to play the game early on Monday morning and post that Monday afternoon, so that the final results will be on Memorial Day afternoon on YouTube. So I appreciate all the comments everybody's given me on this tournament. It's been a hoot and a blast, and I'm trying to make it as entertaining as possible. I'm not that entertaining, but I'm doing what I can. If nothing else, hopefully my enthusiasm for the game of baseball itself and for Strat-O-Matic comes through. I do like other games besides Strat-O-Matic, obviously, but obviously Strat-O-Matic is my go-to game, or I wouldn't have all those season disc or season cards for Strat-O-Matic if I didn't really like Strat-O-Matic. But I also like other games as well, so trying to incorporate those into my rotation to go along with this. So that's it from here. Final score, the Orioles of 1979, 2, and the Oakland A's of 2002, nothing. Moneyball is been dispatched, so that means that they can go back to the drawing board and try to get some better hitters, because they could not figure out Mike Flanagan at all. And Billy Beane is going to scratch his head and go back to the drawing board and see what he can do for next time. But for right now, this is it, and we will see everybody down the road.